right, let's dive into some content here. Here's what we're going to do. We'll talk about the arc of coaching, why I look at 6 months. Now, maybe not literal 6 months. Is it 5? Is it 7? But there's something about the arc that I have found over the years of 6 months being really, really useful. Again, I'll explain more in the content, but what I'd love to do is share the content. It's not really long today. Talk about it. Let's have a conversation about it, where you're challenged by it. What do you agree with? What do you like? What exceptions we want to talk about? My little lesson here is not meant to be comprehensive, but it's meant to establish a few things for them there to be a conversation afterwards. And then for some added fun today, I want to start doing this a little bit more frequently. One of you is going to coach. And I'm going to do, when I do my own kind of like one-on-one sessions, I interrupt people as they're coaching. Usually they're just coaching me. But, oh, right there, what's going on? Oh, great. Where does that taking your client? Oh, shoot. Yeah. So you can get real-time feedback, kind of back out and then pull up the other way. No drama, no sadness, no, oh, I'm sorry. No, just like, now I know. Great. Let me try this. Oh, look at that impact. So it's a really great way to improve your coaching quickly. So that's always fun. So let's do a little of that as well. And then we'll do a little Q&A. Sound good? Hell yeah, Ron. Boy, I can't wait. Let's do this. You got to encourage me, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to feel bad. And then it's going to get bad. So, all right. Okay. So here's what I want to say about the arc of coaching is there are so many. Let's first give a shout out to the many, many ways that one can coach. You can be a little bit more of a mentor. You can be a little bit more of an advisor. You can be a little bit more of just an encourager. You could be a great space holder. There are people who are, more therapeutic in their approach, right? And then there's, coactive coaching. There's, more doing oriented coaching where it's tasks and transactions, and all that is great. All has its place. In fact, what I want to say about transactional coaching, which often the coaching that I do, and I think most of you guys do, or all of you do, or want to put your attention on, is more transactional coaching is, hey, Jamie, you want to lose 10 pounds? Great. Well, so what do you already know? I got to drink more water. I've got to exercise more, and I got to do this. Great. So what will you do by when? How will I know? And, just by virtue of being in a relationship with someone and paying to do the thing, Jamie's more likely to start drinking water, going to bed early, doing those things that we already kind of know, or getting a little bit of advice. Oh, Jamie, actually, if you make your portion size smaller, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. And obviously I'm using a simple and cliche example to make the point. That's going to have someone go, oh my God. Okay. And I know Ron's going to check on me next week, and I know these things. And so those transactional moments can be awesome catalysts for change. So we don't want to poo-poo like, oh, I'm the kind of coach that I work with the being, I change the human being, and therefore what? Yeah. Some people just need that little bit of information and just shove out the door, and then they're like, I can do this. Like, yeah, you just needed someone to believe in you and tell you to go do the damn thing. So love those kinds of coaches. Love that part of your own coaching that has you do that. Do it. Cool. I love metaphors or analogies, and palm trees are great. They bend. You could, cedar, boy, you can flex that and mold concrete sidewalks or all sorts of things. Oak, not going to do it. It's going to break. But you want to build a house not out of, palm, and, I guess you could, right, under certain circumstances, bracing it differently. But oak, for crying out loud, your house is sturdy. It's not going anywhere. Everything has its timing and its place. You could ask that question, what do you want? 1,000 times, but in the right place, it's great. In the wrong place, you're driving people bat crap crazy. Okay. So the arc of coaching in which I want to talk. Oh, and one more thing I want to say is change happens. This is a Tony Robbinsism, and I think it's just wise. Change happens in an instant. And so who are you being? What's the space you're creating to allow for change to happen? Who are you being? What's the space you're creating? Okay, now with that as the background, let's talk about 6 months. So I recognize, in fact, when I coach somebody, so Greg hires me. I'm going to grab Greg. Greg, you're going to hire me as a coach. Okay. One of the things in my discovery session, my packet there that I have you fill out is, in the probably like 20 questions in out of 30, what three things that if you started doing right now would change your life? Something along those lines. And invariably I'll hear, I need to get in bed earlier. I need to put the phone down and limit my time. And I need, something, just three like things. And I sneak attack people somewhere in the discovery session, when we're going through it, and I'll just say, so Greg, oh, here we are. Okay. So what were three things? So what time should you be getting in bed? Ron, I should be getting in bed no earlier than 10. Great. And what about the phone? I need to not pick it up after 7:30 at night. Really? Why? Why would you? And so I kind of corner him, make him hang himself, give him enough rope to hang himself. And then I'll just say, great. So will you start doing those three things out of nowhere? And that's the only coaching that I even do in a discovery session. And what happens is, okay, yeah, because there's already that degree of clarity. Shove him out the door and let's play with it. Let's see where he breaks. Maybe he just starts that change. And then we find 6 weeks in, it's like, you know what, Ron, but I have kids. So I need to just check it for text, but I cannot open anything but text. Great. But there's learning, there's action, there's change happening right now. Awesome. But to create and that might create lasting change forever and ever. In fact, a quick anecdote, and then we'll go into the rest. I received, and I've told this story on these calls before, the worst coaching in my life was in Malmo, Sweden, probably about 18 or 20 years ago. Bad coaching. It was in a CTI fundamentals class. And it was so shockingly bad. What I was trying to do was manage my schedule back in the day when I was doing paper schedule and just really have some boundaries around my time. And I got done with the session and we went off to lunch or break or whatever we did. And I was talking to the person I was teaching the course with, and I was like, oh, we were both like, that was so bad. And we got to do this, we got to do that. And then I thought, you know what I would have wanted or what I would have liked or what would have helped? Guess what happened? Just realizing that I didn't like this, or that didn't make sense, gave me clarity as to what I did want, I did need. I got value out of it. Bang. If you've got a willing client who wants to change, change does happen. Change happens in an instant. People who want change put themselves in the path of it by getting a coach with worth his or her salt or whatever is going to create that space. Off you go. You can't even help but make it happen. So now I got Greg set up here. But what's going to happen is Greg's going to fall off the wagon. He's not going to do this, or he's got this goal to make $1 million this year. And in order to create those changes beyond the things that he's done in the past, which is maybe get in bed earlier, handle his diet or whatever, we're going to really have to go to work on the man. The qualities of being, right? That's where all our focus is. Who you are drives what you do. What you do creates your results. And I tell all my clients that, so everybody knows the game we're playing. So no matter who you are, I don't care if think of the most so-called successful person in the world, financially, spiritually, that if I was going to coach that person, I'd say, this is what we're working on. Your word matters. Everything you say matters. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And the other thing is, even if you're Elon Musk, it's like, oh, you want to be worth 500 billion? Fantastic. Who you are right now is not enough to get there. We've got to help you get more disciplined, more creative, more whatever, those qualities. So that's where our attention always is. So now why the arc of coaching being 6 months? Well, because what happens is, and Greg, I'm just going to keep using you as the example. Greg's going to start going to bed early. Greg's going to put the phone down and he's going to go, wow, this coaching thing is great. Ron's a stud. Holy cow. You got to tell the world, oh, this is great. I love coaching. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to say, dude, but you're not doing this. You're not handling this. Or, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to ask for the business or whatever. And it's going to push. And what I find is weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boy, Greg's thinking I'm the man. 6, 7, 8, now the work begins. Now, it usually is a little before. I'm just saying this sort of like as a standby. I mean, I like to dive in really early and push people and find where their breaking point is. And we find that hopefully sooner rather than later. But let's just say like weeks 5 or 6, uh-oh, and he starts getting a sober moment. 7, uh-oh, I'm really challenged. My father was never there for me. And there's like, oh my God, there's stuff that we got to get through. And what I find is that deep, that dark night of the soul, the valley of the shadow of the death, working through those perennial or hereditary, so to speak, demons, that getting through that time now gets us into week 10, 11, 12, blah, 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 week 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, month 3, 4, and we're lifting back out of it. Now month 5 and into month 6, now you're integrating this. Now it's not a perfect arc, right? It's this, it's down, it's all over the place. But the general trajectory is this: Ron's great. Holy cow, I don't even know if I like this. What am I doing here? This is hard. Wait, there might be light at the end of the tunnel. And then, oh my gosh, I'm integrating it and I've gotten 12 no's, but I got my first yes. I get it. This does work. I just have got to blah, blah, blah. And now the integration starts happening and that person can begin to change, and off they go, months 5 into 6. And they start to live the consequences, the results of that change. So why 6 months? Because that arc has to happen. And I want them to have the experience. And when Greg hires me, I'm going to say, dudes, or says, well, Ron, yeah, I'm interested. Sample session, sample conversation. So how does this work? And I said, well, I do one of two. No, I do one of two programs, 6 months or a year. I want to push most people towards the year, and I can explain that if someone's curious later. But for our purposes, at least 6 months, and I'll explain the reason why. So he already knows what he's in for. So I do a 6-month minimum, blah, blah, blah. We'll talk this often. We'll do this and that. It's this much, da, da, da. And if he asks why, I'm going to tell him because da, 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 da. And you're going to think I'm great. And then it's going to get hard and not sexy. And that's the part I need you to stick through. Because if you're like month to month, 3 months in, 4 months, I'm going to start doing careful coaching. Or Georgette, to your point, it's like, I'm going to start being friendly guy. And friendly guy just wants to keep you happy and keep going just enough to kind of think. And we're having these deep conversations. And then you know what's going to happen? I always say this too, guys. Greg's going to leave and then say, it's me, Ron, it's not you. I'm not coachable. You know what? I don't think it's going to really work. And he's going to have 100 reasons, and I'm not going to get the feedback I need, which is I'm just wanting to be nice. I'm wanting to be friendly. I'm wanting to have a friend. I'm too afraid to do this. Or I didn't do the design properly, 3 months ago to let him know what he was in for. So he could really see, boy, Ron, you're right. This is happening right now. In fact, another question I have in my discovery session is, how might you sabotage our coaching relationship? Because what's going to happen is, at some point, not always, you've got some people who are just gamers and they just own stuff, but you might get a Greg, a real Greg, you know what I'm saying? Greg might say, you know what, Ron, you're being really hard on me. And then I'll go, dude, you told me, remember in our session, that what happens is when things get hard is you start blaming people or whatever. And boy, it has helped. That question has come through for me more than once. And people go, oh, I am doing that to you, aren't I? Like, yeah, nobody's got to feel bad about it. But if they can have an insight, a deep, deep insight in a safe place, and now we can debrief this together and help them get conscious or a choice, that's life-changing. So I want to prepare people for the arc. I want to coach them through the arc, and then I want them to be at choice now, 5 months in, going, yeah, I want more of this. And then maybe we continue for another 6 months or a year or two, who knows? But having a proper expectation of the way things unfold, key, primary. So anyway, that's my little to-do on that. What thoughts or questions do y'all have?
So when you say the arc, what you really mean is that, you maybe peak with the initial topic and 4 months in, and then after the person starts kind of getting what they want, living what they want, the arch kind of starts dropping, like running out of things to talk about. Is that what you mean by the
Well,
arc?
it won't be lack of things to talk about. Maybe it's not the arc of coaching, it's the sine curve of coaching.
Okay.
But it's got to end up on an arc, on a
Yeah.
high. But it's not about things to talk about. We shouldn't run out of things to talk about. Kim, you want to lose 10 pounds, find a new husband or wife, or make $1 million, whatever. You already came with 3 or 4 big ticket items. We're not running out of things to talk about. We should be bringing these things up and moving these things along every week, right? In some regard, consciously. There's no lack of things to talk about unless they didn't clarify their want.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing is we're saying, you came to lose 20 pounds and make $1 million. Like, we should be talking about that. In the arc of this, you're going to be like, everybody always called me this name and I feel like a loser. It's like, yeah, after you were doing really good for 2 weeks with your diet and your exercise, crash. I
Okay.
want you to get through that crash. So we'll call that the arc. I mean, that's truly an arc, but yeah. Yep. What else, guys?
Ron, I really appreciated the how might you sabotage the relationship. I just added it to my discovery template. Yeah, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's a great relationship question in general with, somebody that you start dating or you want to be with is, like, how do you undermine your relationships?
Yeah.
Oh, I get insensitive or I get really sensitive and start taking everything personally. It's like, oh my gosh, now we know. Well, Jamie, I don't want you to feel that way. So, what happens when you start doing that? You know what, Ron, I just think I need you to reassure me that, we're still cool. It's like, cool. And I might not like something you're doing, but it doesn't mean that we're not cool. All right,
Mhm.
cool. Now we have a conscious, holy cow. More of these conscious relationships would be great.
Mhm.
What else?
I'll be honest, even in your supervision, you talked about coaching weekly. I coach monthly right
Yep.
now, and I would like to do 3 weeks, like every 3 weeks at least. But
3 weeks
so
is good.
I'm just intrigued by the 1 week piece.
Back in the day when, so, it's funny to say this, but I mean, I was doing coaching early on when coaching really kind of got going. And the norm was 4 30-minute sessions. It was either weekly or 4 per month. 4 per month leaves you with 4 months with a
Mhm.
3 week, or it just kind of jogs out that way, right?
Mm.
So, and then people started going like, I do, did I say $400? That was kind of like the standard. Yeah, $400. And then it was, people were started, leaving the reservation, right? There became a standard, and then you start to break it, and they started charging a little bit more or doing three. I like 3 sessions because it gives me or gives whomever I'm with a week off, and I get a week off to restore, to build my whatever they're doing. But yeah, there's all sorts of things to do. My concern now, you could be doing 1 month and love it, right? Or anybody could. And what it is it's a kind of an accountability coaching, but if you're wanting that transformation, you
Right.
speaking to somebody and going like, Ron, how did you do with whatever? Well, but if it's 4 weeks since we last talked and I haven't done any exercise, you might need to be, I mean, that's why I do texting too. I do a couple of higher end programs because I just know that for me to create the change that I want to create in somebody rapidly, I need to be there. So Jamie, you start coaching with me and um you're like $1 million and 20 pounds, you want to lose. Great. I want to be the one that you text at, if I'm awake, whatever, but text me anytime at 2 in the morning, being like, Ron, I'm about to eat a bunch of fucking Ben and Jerry's. And if I'm awake or I see that, I'm like, dude, stop. So first of all, stop.
Mhm.
Go look at porn, go for a walk, go, take a cold bath, go do anything. Don't eat unless you had a porn addiction. Go do anything
Yeah.
but this.
Yeah.
Or I'd call or whatever, because we want to do is we want to break the patterns of the thing in real time. I do, right? You don't have to do this. This is how I roll. And if you're like, Ron, I just walked by the bodega where I always get my Ben and Jerry's, it's like, I want to get that text so I can be kick ass, you crazy son of a gun. That's how it's done.
Mhm.
Oh, right. I am a kick ass son of a gun. I am the one. I am the keeper. I am the, um, you know, most honest. I am the most disciplined, whatever. I want you to lock in with those qualities being. Georgette, you say, I just told my client they were wrong, like flat out. I didn't smile. I didn't couch it in like nice words. I just said it. I want to be there so you can high five and be like that, because I want to have you perpetuate that with connection to self. And then what's the next thing you want to do from here? So you're building. So that, Jamie, points towards, yeah, let's have some more frequent sessions so we can keep that going. How you do it, there's a million ways to, skin a cat. Don't skin cats, by the way. Don't do that. What else? share this. I think there's some power in you knowing, and just try this out with your own experience. I think there's a lot of, actually, I know there's a lot of power in you knowing the arc of coaching for yourself, whatever that is. For me, it's that 6 month kind of just seems how it goes. And I have the why behind it. So, Kim, for your question about building business, it's like, imagine being able to have that conversation with somebody. So now they have an expectation. So I can say in 6 months, I very likely will have lost the weight and done this other thing. Yeah, I mean, it depends on you and your commitment. But here's what happens is da 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 da, and then here's the change. And now you go off and do 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense, Sally? Yeah, great. Well, you in? Do you want that? What do you need to know whether you're ready to rock and roll? Right now, all of a sudden, you're queued up with some powerful questions to get them on board. I always tell people too in the my discovery session or my sample sessions. I don't have sample sessions. In my sample conversations, that's not the right word either. In my conversations about coaching, whether someone wants to work with me or I want to work with them, is I tell them I'm going to be a little coachy around this so it doesn't get weird, because here's the thing is I can move people to take action. That's what I'm good at. What I do is I get people connected themselves into a peak place. And then I get them to say yes to this and no to that. As we're going along, if you're not connected to yourself, if you're not really connected to your vision, your dream, your want, and then I ask for the business or ask you to you're ready to rock and roll because I'm in, if I am, I'm not going to get the answer I want. So I want to be transparent with you that if I want to work with you, I'm going to help you get connected to the best part of you so that you can make a powerful choice, not choose to work with me, but make a powerful choice. And then in doing that, then I can say, make a powerful choice. And now they see the dream, they see the arc of coaching, and there you go.
I was hoping that you would coach somebody today.
We'll come back next quarter, fourth quarter.
Huh?
Fourth quarter, I'll do some coaching. How's that sound?
Ah,
All right. As per Kim's request. All right. What else do we want to say just to lock in? And don't feel like you got to say something profound or ask a great question. What do you want to say just to lock in anything that was useful for you in this conversation? No long harangues or anything, but like a couple sentences, few sentences. Like, what do you got?
For me, just being able to integrate explaining the arc of coaching and discovery and giving that preparation ahead of time for what's to come, because I've just what you're talking about. We're like, all right, everything's going great. You're like on this high thing, and then I'm going to drop off, and then how to handle that point. But then also just, yeah, like I said, integrating that in discovery so that they're prepared for it.
Yes. Yeah. And that's not like, oh, no, this is not coaching. It's like, remember how good it was? And now it's just like, it's weird to start trying to apologize for it or explain it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. What else, guys?
Nice to hear the reiteration that.
sorry, guys.
Hello. If it's gone awry, it could be in the discovery session that didn't, or sorry, in the designing the alliance that could have, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I added that to the discovery session, that idea of like, when are you going to drop off? What's going to cause you to run away?
Yeah. How do you undermine your relationships in general? It's like, oh, guess what? This is a relationship.
Hey, Ron, if we want to, put out their 6-month coaching to a year coaching. If a client says to you, well, 6 months sounds good, but can I start with 3? How do you handle that?
Well, the thing is what happens, right, is the part of us, the business builder part of us that really wants just the business and wants things the way we want them on our terms and how it's sort of my mind is going in several different directions. It's the bane of process of being a salesperson in many ways, where it's like, I've got this widget that I really know would solve your problem. And then you say, well, call me back in the first quarter because I might be interested. And it's like, this would save and solve your problem now. And you want to okay. And, we all have this bridge to cross, I guess I'll use that metaphor, where I'm going to just make an offer. Kim, yes, this is how I coach. This is how much it is. And this is what I can promise you. If you do X, you're of course going to do Y, get Y, because I've done this for 20 something, many years. And this is just what happens. So if you want to wait 3 months, it's better for you. The timing is just because I had somebody once, they were all in, they put it off for, I don't know, a few months because it was like, they're moving and they got that. It's like, oh, I can get, then there's legit, according to
Wait, no, I didn't say wait 6 months, did I? I think what I said, they want to purchase 3 months
they
instead
want
of,
to purchase 3 months. Well, let me finish my train of thought and then I'll go back and answer so I can satisfy that. So if someone wants to put it off, oh, they're moving. It's like, okay, I get it. Like totally. You got to move. You're not going to be all here. You're trying to lose weight right now. You probably need to eat another burger because you're going to be packing boxes for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be crazy. I don't care. Right. I get it. Come back. But at the end of the day, we want people to come back and begin when they are all ready. Now, what I might do in a discovery or an initial conversation is say, are you doing this right now? The very thing that's caused you to put on the weight, to destroy your
right.
relationships, like you're putting it off right now because it's not convenient. It's getting a little uncomfortable. Is that what's happening? And guess what? Ooh, I think it might be. Yeah, I get it. So here's your choice. I mean, I know, and I'm assuming they already said they want to coach me, and I already said I want to coach with them. I out myself. I just want to be so clean with people. So there's no weird, no manipulation sense at all. I will say, you already know where I stand. I'm in. I want this. I want to help you now. But you've got to decide that you're done doing the pattern rather than one more time you're going to reestablish it. You're going to have one more pint of Ben and Jerry's. You're going to put it off what you really want till 3 months from now. And that consciousness, then she's now again more clearly at choice. Okay, great. So what do you want? And there we are again. Period. Now let's answer the question Kim was actually asking.
Oh, that's good though. That worked out well.
Good. So they say I want to do 3 months. It depends. I have so I do uncompromised half year, one uncompromised year with people. If someone says, can we do something else? The people who I'm more happy to go month to month with are people who I've done years with, like I've coached them time, because then we already know, then the pricing structure is a little bit different. We might, like I coached people. I had an uncompromised client that we now talk a few times a month. I still give him this degree of service. I have a gal that I won't go into all the details, but there are people that I work different things out with. Sure.
Right.
If someone comes to me and says, oh, Ron, you do 6 months in a year. Can we do 3? It would really need to be an exception. And the exception would be, I'm moving to Spain and things are going to get really crazy. What I really need is no shit, high velocity. I need to go at it for this. Or I'm really in a sensitive place and I just need someone to really hear a couple things and for me to consciously choose and make a couple better decisions than I have in the past. So they're not looking for this great transformation expectation, because I can't feel as solid about the promise if we're not going to definitely go through that dip and back up again. And guess what? Transformation happens in an instant. It can happen I actually coached somebody, I'll never forget. I remember his name, but I could tell you what he looked like. We did a discovery session and I came at him really not hard, but like really clear and firm, and nailed his rear end of the wall. And a couple of times, that was our last session. And we've talked after that. And he was like, that's what I came for. I needed 1, 2, 3 ABC. Like, I don't mean to bail, but like, that was it. And sort of at first was like, well, that sounds like, oh, Ron, it was me. It's not you. But he was like, no, I'm doing this. I'm doing these 2 or 3 things now. I'm off and away. And he was. So who knows? Who knows?
That's right.
We're going to get a little snug on time, and we all want to watch Ron do a little bit of, I almost said interference. Um, mentoring while somebody coaches. Let me see what I want to do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that for just 10 or 12 minutes, something like that. Who wants to coach? Actually, let's do this. Who wants to be coached? Who's got a topic? It can be something huge, but it can just be something small. No great expectations for transformation. Who's got something that they'd like to get a little coaching on?
Well, I could be coached on what I was talking about. That,
Great. Growing your business?
yeah,
All right,
I'll be
articulate it for me though, really clearly. Ron, I want what?
are you coaching me or somebody
No,
else?
no, no, but I'm going to be indirectly, but I just want to do the heavy lifting for whoever's going to get coaching. What's the want? What's your agenda for this little session?
I want to be doing a lot more coaching than I'm doing. I want to get busy, my coaching business, busier.
Great, so I'm going to be a pain in your ass. Great, get busy.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Did you tell me
Go.
to get busy? Is that what you just said to me? Great.
Yeah, go get busy.
Yeah.
Your problem isn't busy, Kim. So that's why I'm kicking you a little bit here. Your
Oh.
words matter. What you say matters. You are busy. You can spin yourself into a circle. You're
I said
busy. That's
coaching.
not. So what do you really want?
Okay. You want me to get more specific? I'd like to have 4 clients a month. Is that what you want me? Is that what you want me to do?
That's what I want. Yeah, that's what I want.
Right. 4 clients.
Thanks, Greg. I got it. Say it.
Yeah. I don't want 1 client a month. I want 4. I want to be
Great.
working with.
So you want 4 recurring clients that you're speaking to, a month. You want 4 clients that you have going.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah.
Great, Kim. So what I want to point out for you, but for others is, and you are no anomaly here. You are the rule, not the exception. People either don't know what they want, or
Mhm.
they say what they want in like nebulous, unclear, or even self-contradictory terms that shoots them in the foot. I want to be busy. I want to be more busy coaching. Okay, what does that even mean? It's not specific, it's not clear. You could be doing things for a website, you could be talking to people, but without that clear goal, we don't really know. We just have a sense of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I want 4 clients a month. Great. Now, let me just also say for the coaches, you're not going to get 4 clients a month by the end of our session, right?
Mm.
So for our session here now, what is the want?
Okay. So what am I looking to get out of today's session?
Yeah, exactly.
I think more. I feel where do I go now is what I keep feeling after doing my new beautiful website. I've done my SEO work. Okay, here it comes a little. Are you coaching me now? Is
I'm
that what's
coaching you
happening?
just for a minute because I just want to get people over the heavy lifting. The agenda is a pain in the butt, and I just want to sometimes, and I want to help. This is a good example, Kim, because this is challenging for you. It's perennially have been, and guess what? People don't come with agendas a lot of times. And I have taught probably most everybody on this call about the agenda, and they're watching me work it in real time. So this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the last thing you said?
I've done. No, the last thing I said is okay. I know where I'm hitting a wall. Okay.
Great.
Before COVID and.
Wait, without the story. So what's the want for? So Ron, by the time today's call is over, I really want. You think you said like what's next?
I want to know what to do next to make this happen for me.
Great. So whoever's going to coach you is going to just help get you clearer about what's next, some ideas, or just get your mind moving. Now, what I would tell somebody if I was supervising or mentoring them, I'd say, listen, your job is to connect this person to themselves, not to give her like a compelling next. It's like you might get there, you might not, but your job is to connect her to herself so that she's like, oh, I can see this. I can see how I shot myself in the foot with this. I can see how I can do this. I can see how I've stalled. You're moving her towards a what's next. That's your goal. with hopefully great, what's next? If not, it becomes an inquiry and she'll work on it going forward. Okay. Greg, I think I was talking over Kim at the same time, but just, I know that you can't jump in right now. All good. So volunteer who wants to coach, and I got your back. So you can't fall too far.
I'll jump in.
All right, Jamie, I love it. Okay. So you know
Hi,
what she
Jamie.
wants.
Thank you.
Kim just said hi.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
So Jamie, all I want you to do is, to the best of your ability, reiterate, articulate what you understand her agenda to be, and just dive in. And I'm going to do what I said. Kim, this is not about easy, nice, flowing coaching. It's not going to be, because I'm going to pause it. And Jamie, I'm going to interrupt you sometimes. You're like, I just want to hang in the process. That's all.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, Kim, I hear you say, I want 4 clients. I want 4 recurring clients a month. I heard that. And I hear, like, what do I do now? Did I hear that right?
Yeah. Yes. I also know, I know, or already know into the session, the wall I've hit and where I'm stuck.
Yeah. So yeah, I hear the stuck. I hear the stuck. What does stuck feel like right now?
Great question. Sickening. I'm just kind of sick of it.
Oh, sickening.
This just isn't me. I mean, I don't know. I feel like,
It's not you. Who is it? Who is it?
well, I've always been, I feel like I'm a good coach. I know I'm a good coach. I'm great
Yeah.
at sales, better at sales and coaching. I know how to sell.
Kim, I
But
hear what you're good at. I'm wondering, can we hang
yeah,
out if you're stuck and it doesn't feel like me for a second?
yeah. I mean, I've been hanging out there for so long, but if you need to,
Yeah.
I can't really say much more about it other than,
Well, tell me about it, because it's new to me. I want to, and
Quick pause, Jamie. So quick pause, Kim. So good. No more data. So what do you see over there, just between you and me, Jamie? What do you see in her experience? Who is she being? What are some qualities that you see showing up? What's her energy?
yeah, it's there's a spiral. There's like a,
Spiral. We'll check it out in a second, but go ahead. What else do you notice?
yeah, just like a fed up. I'm tired of this.
Yep. So I see fed up. I also see like exasperated.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. So all those things. So when we're coaching, we want to make sure that we get the data, like the intellect, the words. We also want to make sure we're hitting all sorts of channels to have her see her experience consciously.
Yeah.
So it's like, boy, Kim, as you say this, I'm noticing this look on your face. I'm noticing this energy. I see you keep doing this thing. You don't have to do any more, but throw it back over there and back off. So then you're tracking and doing what you're doing, which is processing it. You're helping her more powerfully experience it. That'll help her more powerfully choose what she wants.
Yeah.
Tag.
All right, Kim. So yeah, so I hear exasperation. Like, what is that, and where is that in your body?
my chest, I guess.
Yeah. What does that feel like? It just, like, it doesn't feel like me. It's exasperated. What's in your chest?
It just feels a little bit heavy in my chest, but I think I'm more in my head than I am in my body. It's all up in here.
Yeah. You look like you're searching. I see in your eyes, you're just like looking around for something.
No, I'm just kind of giggling I do this when I get coached. I giggle as a defense, I guess, but I know I think I know what I'm supposed to do next, but I'm resisting doing it because
Yeah. I hear a lot of resistance.
I've talked to, well, now, honestly, I don't know how to say this to you. Whenever I want to do something, I go after it. And the next thing that I'm told I'm supposed to be doing, which is social media, start making videos, being present. I don't want to do that. I don't want to I really don't. I'm very clear that I don't want to be on making all these videos and posting them so I can be noticed. And I'm thinking, there's got to be another way here.
Kim, yeah. So what do you want?
Excellent.
I want
Actually, quick pause. I hate to do this.
Smile,
All right.
smile
It's
on your
excellent.
face.
It's excellent. I just want to point out that it's excellent because if we were doing this just you and me, Jamie, I wouldn't stop you because I want to keep with the flow, but I want to point out something excellent. And I'm dropping off, so you're not seeing my facial features while you're doing things, my camera.
You can have those facial features.
Now I forgot. What did you just say to her?
What do you want?
Oh, no, there was the intruding that I loved.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
100 things you could have done, but like you're like, bang, because she can do this, she's done that, I could do this. Like, what do you want? Let's just go to the thing.
hmm,
I thought it is excellent. So just jump right back in, keep going where you're going.
Yeah.
So what do I want? My turn? Is it my turn now? You said, what
It
do I
is
want?
all your turn. It is all your turn, Kim.
I want to find other ways that I can get myself out there so that I get more calls. And I do get some calls. And I don't want to go into, I had another question for Ron, but we can do that later about pricing and stuff and telling clients what
Oh gosh, Kim, I hear so much swirling around in your head about like,
Excellent.
really, I really don't feel I know I don't have any anxiety at all about the coaching piece. I absolutely love it. When I do it, my whole world changes and I come alive. So I know it's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm clear on that.
like, Kim, I'm seeing like a wall between you and getting what you want. I'm just like, what's there for you?
Told you I hit a wall with what to do next. So there is a wall because
Great.
yeah, it stay there. I
What?
know I'm at the wall. I see it right in front of me. I'm aware.
Yeah. What happens when you get quiet and you stand in front of that wall? What does it look like?
I don't really
Okay,
get too,
careful. Quick pause, Kim.
yeah.
Now you're prescribing clandestinely. What
Okay.
happens when you
So
get
say more
quiet?
about that. Okay.
Yeah, what
Well,
happens?
here, help me out, Ron, because there's such a saboteur that I'm hearing that I'm just like, I'm gonna go to it. I'm just trying to like, I kind of want to name it and be it. So help me get or not do that.
Yeah, so I think your instinct is good. It's how you do it, because if you're doing it like, what happens when you get quiet? It's not a curious question. You're telling her that you want her to be quiet. And
Yeah. Good. Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
That's
Excellent.
it. That's it. So, I'm going to say, generally speaking, there's one of two things we can do. Help her really see. So you're saying swirling. And for our purposes, Kim, just give me a second here. I think you guys just missed each other with swirling, and it's just different definitions, but there is a lot of swirling. Like, it's this, I can do this. I'm not afraid of this, but I want to do this. I don't want to do social media. That's the swirl. There's a lot of stuff moving around in there. That's just true.
Yeah.
It's not bad or wrong, but there's stuff happening, and you're doing a nice job of helping her see it. If you're wanting her to become more conscious of it, just help her become more conscious of it. Say, boy, you like, what is this experience like? What are you noticing inside your body? You said this is in your chest or this is in your head. What else are you noticing? Help her get conscious of it. Because as soon as you say slow down or get quiet, you have now stopped her from what's going on.
This is my self-management. I got sucked into the swirl. I see that.
Right. But then you decided it doesn't matter. You can get sucked in, just hold onto a rope on the shore and get sucked in, get close to it so you can be there with her. But if you're going to, when you tell her to slow down or breathe or get quiet, you've actually stopped her from her swirl and said, go do this other thing. Now she's not in her process. She's in your version of her process.
Yeah, I get it. I hear that. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to stop here now, but that's excellent. And honestly, for you, Kim, there's inquiries to happen. There's more to come. Maybe somebody here wants to coach you more if you want, or you can do some coaching on your own. Awesome. Jamie, for you, awesome work. I love that we got to see kind of like a breaking point where you go and you start to fix, or you go to gold, solid gold. Keep people where they are, make them more conscious of where they are. They're smart. They're resourceful. Nobody wants to sit in their own doo-doo very long. At some point, they're going to be like, it's getting cold. It's getting crusty. I don't want this. It's like, yeah, what are you going to do? I'm getting up. It is not going to feel good. No, not until you get in the shower after 10 minutes. Right. Sorry to make it too literal, folks, but that's the whole point, is you suffering and causing suffering for yourself. It's painful. It's smelly. It's hard. Help them get conscious of it. Let them choose. Okay. Okay. Time out on that. I'm going to address kind of rapid fire the couple questions we got.
Well, that was a tease.
Oh, yeah. I'm all about the tease, baby. Leave them wanting more. All right. Couple questions. I'm just going to give you a couple thoughts on, and then we'll go round robin. Just the essence of one thing you're walking away with today. But let me start with the question. So, Kim, I know the perennial thing about building business. I'll just say, I'm with you. I don't want to join I'm a rebel anyway. If everybody's doing social media, I'm doing something else. If everybody else is doing fax blasts and faxing 10,000 people, I'm doing something else. And I know nobody does faxing, but you get the point. Like, I don't want to follow the masses. I want to do something that's true and authentic for me. There's more to be said about that. And it's true for everybody. Everybody wants to be authentic. Yes, they want the result. And if you could become a millionaire coach by going on Instagram, but you're miserable doing it, you're miserable, period, in your life doing it. Is it worth it? Might be, might not be. Go work for the state. You'll have great benefits. You can retire in 30 years. You don't have to work, and do whatever. But that means 30 years. You got to put in pushing paper and doing nothing makes it very fulfilling. Might be worth it. Might not be. I don't know. Authenticity matters. And you get to have a vote. The world with their social media doesn't get to censure you, period. Friendliness, Georgette, and confronting. How do I, make being an excellent coach, I'll say, the number one priority? Everybody has to find, they're going to say something or do something that pushes them over that threshold and to the point of like, and it's going to happen again and again. I have yelled at clients. I have sworn. I've hung up on people. I have said weird things and hard things. And so there's an iteration of, am I willing to do this next thing to make the point or to get the point across? And, you're at a precipice right now. And, one thing might be for you is just to simply decide, I'm more committed to Ron knowing the truth than I am to him paying me next month or him even wanting to talk to me again. And ultimately, I think that's the underpinning is I care more about the transformation of this individual than I do about him wanting to talk to me. There's a guy that he and I have connected politically. I'm not a political guy, but like we're on the same page about like what's happening in the world, which is obviously, I don't care who you are, it's wild.
Yeah.
But we're on the same page with like, it's wild. And I think this is why. And it's not a figure, like it's not Donald Trump. It's not Joe Biden. But it's sort of a global philosophy type thing. And so we hit it off and his marriage is collapsing and this wild stuff is happening like out of nowhere. And I've had to say to him, look, dude, I can be your like friend, like we're kind of becoming pals here and offer a thought. But the truth is, and I just texted him this 3 days ago, we're at a crossroads where I could either coach, because he knows about my coaching and he didn't, anyway, I said, I can either be your friend, in which case I'm going to shut up now, or I'm going to be your coach. And there's some things that I think you should hear and some things you need to be pushed towards to get on the other side of some things that you're sabotaging on yourself. You got to decide, but I'm in for either, but you're going to get two different versions of Ron depending on what you choose. And I back off. So, keep that in your bonnet, Georgette, because if somebody chooses to be your client, say it. I'm actually paying you because I need you to say it and not just underwrite my mediocrity and my patterns by the endorsement of your not calling me out on it. All right. All right. Lightning round, 90 seconds. What do y'all need to say? What are you walking away with? What's the nugget?
Name it and articulate what's going on.
Amen, brother.
Integrate the arc into discovery and designing.
Yeah. Let's get on the same page with our clients.
Yeah, I did all that very much.
All right, ditto.
Yeah.
I love the thought about asking, how do you undermine yourself? As opposed to what's the challenge for you or but how are you undermining yourself? Or a different way to ask about, you're letting your saboteur have too much power over you and things like that. So I really like it, puts it on them. You are undermining yourself.
Yeah,
How are you doing that? I like that a lot.
good.
You ask, do you undermine yourself? I would
How do
ask,
you undermine? Because I don't want to
No,
ask you
how-
yes, no.
everybody undermine, does everybody undermine themselves? Yeah.
Of
I
course
guess-
we do. We eat
Yeah.
too much, we sleep too much, we gossip too much, we find a million diversions to keep us from our best and authentic selves.
Yeah,
Greg,
and I think it comes up. It comes up in the conversation of somebody saying, I do this all the time, or I don't make decisions. I hate doing that,
this
That's
is
when
I've teased doing a workshop on the philosophy of coaching, and I'm probably getting warmer of doing it. It'll be a paid workshop type thing, but we have to have a coherent philosophy of life and a coherent philosophy as a coach. If you don't understand that you sabotage yourself a million different ways,
Right.
and know yourself sufficiently to see that you just stopped and bought, oh, Ben and Jerry's, it's $8 or 2 for 12. All right, I'll get 2. And now you're eating 2 Ben and Jerry's. What the hell were you doing? It's okay. It's one thing that you got Ben and Jerry's, but and notice your proclivity to do that. Notice how you do that. Notice the manifold ways that you do that. If you don't know yourself and know that you're kinsman to everybody else in the world, and they've got their own versions, just manifests a little bit differently.
Don't you think it's important when you ask them that question, when you ask the question, it has to be at the right time in the session?
No,
that-
and listen, we got to go, and I'm going to name Greg's little thing here. But what I want you to know is, if you don't know yourself sufficiently, or should I say, go, Jamie, take it easy. Then you won't see it in others. If you'll be honest with yourself about yourself,
Yeah.
you'll understand and have so much more mercy and sympathy, and have an angle on people as they're sabotaging themselves, which makes you a much more masterful coach. So, okay, let me just give, Greg said the reason for the arc, keeping clients where they are and not where I am. So love that. I love everybody walked away with something. Jamie said thank you and goodbye. So this is my thank you and goodbye to all y'all.
See you later.
Peace, guys.